Hello everyone, welcome to the Pro Traders launch YouTube free session. Let's dive in the charts and see what we can expect for this week on Bitcoin. So, where are we currently? We are in a kind of tight range at the highs. All the support that was here holded, so we had this massive daily order block, really no candle closes. We got that kind of last back test on it, and now it's kind of looking like if it wants to break out or at least do a fake out or some liquidity grab to the upside. um so yeah, I've gone over through Twitter, and what I have seen is that a lot of people are kind of looking at this fractal. So if I would take this and just copy it and grind it to here. So everyone is kind of expecting something like this and that bull market continuation that we had like a few years ago. If we take it something like this, so yeah, you got that upper liquidity grab, that small retrace, and then everyone is now expecting that really massive pump. For me, at least, we do have like small imbalance still to fill on the weekly time frame, which we still kind of, I mean, we did kind of almost fill it, but there is still $50 left to fill it. And we do have the weekly order block that I have been talking about on the previous stream that I was on. So this is of massive importance for me and would also front run the 30k psychological area, where usually people wait and just wait for to take profits, maybe look for some shorts. um and if you remember, like, okay, Binance doesn't have this data, so if you remember just that first massive bull market um in 2017, as you can see, where did we top out was 19.8, 19.9. So everyone that maybe longed here, bought here, was probably taking just those take profit, especially the the retail, the newer traders were probably just waiting for take profits at 10k, 20k, 30k, 100k, and so on. And what did Bitcoin do here, and what I expect? We did have some massive amounts of take profits here, some shorts waiting to enter at those psychological levels. And we did not enter the 20k area, which left people like, okay, we dropped a little bit, now we are going up. Again, I'm still waiting for my take profit here. And then again, price goes down. Again, everyone that longed here, bought spot, probably got um, stopped out without taking that major take profit, and probably even if they didn't close here, they probably just closed at a massive loss at the lows. So this is kind of from this perspective, what I'm viewing on the 30k area just now. So again, everyone did get into some positions here, and where would their massive take profit be is at 30k. So what I have in mind is just why not front run it again as we did it the last time. So um yeah, we kind of took a lot of liquidity. All the wicks were kind of, from candle perspective, they were bullish. Where most of us in Pro Traders Launch entered a nice long, hoping for that weekly order block tap, was just from this liquidity grab that we got, just the range liquidity. And we did have a nice naked point of control which did hit just perfectly to the dollar, with some additional confluence of having nice high volume area at this area. So if this was lost, if we did manage to get some daily candles or 4-hourly candle closes under it, under this high volume area, which is shown here. So if we would manage just to close here and start to backtest, this would be really bearish for me, and probably I would anticipate a loss of this upper range, and we would go down to our lower areas of interest. But we held it nicely. Also the 4-hourly naked point of control. So yeah, nice confluences for this long, and from there on, yeah, as you can see, we did take out the upper liquidity. One thing maybe I want to pinpoint out was at these lows, what kind of gave me some more confidence was just the Binance wall. So I was, at that time when the wall appeared, I was not moving my stop loss and was not like changing my bias that we would go a little bit higher. As you can see, these walls, once they appear on Binance, usually you get that nice support from them. Again, nice support, back up, nice support, back up. So once we did take out that liquidity, which was here, what did appear after that? Again, the Binance limit wall. From there on, you just went up. This was just some additional confluence that we do look here in Pro Traders Launch, especially the high volume exchanges. Why we pushed up here was mainly because of the FUD. So you had massive FUD rally here on Binance. Just, I know he was searched by Interpol, or I don't know what. I'm really not that interested in news, or especially in FUD. So you had a lot of spot sales on Binance, on mostly on Bitfinex, where those sales just got really nicely absorbed. And as you can see, from just that FUD, you had here like 500 worth of spot Bitcoin that was sold, taken out some liquidity, and then pumped up just right back up. Where again, if you are absorbing, if you are accumulating some spot Bitcoin, as Bitfinex was these last few days, you want to protect your spot positions, and this is what they are doing now. And yeah, the price just pumps up. Also on Agar, like all the time you're getting those bullish CVD, just that absorption, funding all the time shifting between neutral and negative, which is bullish. Here, as you can see, we got equal lows. Again, CVD making lower lows, like almost on each. So here you can see higher lows, lower lows, squeeze. And what do you have here? So as you can see, this high is really, I mean, this low is really high from the lower low, and here you can see the lower, this second low is kind of almost tapping the lower low. So this is for me a valid divergence, and from there on again just squeeze up and constantly just making that bullish CVD on lower time frame. So this can help you with your entries and it help us. So yeah, in short, what I would like to see, and we do have here nice support. So this order block on the 6-hourly time frame is kind of key importance for me. We do have single prints here still to fill. So if we check out the daily TPO, you have a single print all the way down to 283, which is kind of coming into this order block area. If we check out the volume profile, you will see that we are consolidating above the value area high of this whole range. So this in most cases is kind of bullish, especially in the end of the range. But what I would be looking here, as I said, would be just this order block. If we do come back down just to fill those imbalances, just a quick again start to consolidate above the value area high, I would anticipate we come back into that weekly order block. If this plays out, if we have some rules of how we trade order blocks, which I won't reveal here, but if we start to get back up, there is a nice possibility of an entry. So firstly, what I would be looking at for this weekly order block would be, of course, that short. If you go above it, I would then look for a potential long and looking for those higher areas. Currently, the 6-hourly order block will be of main importance for me. If we do go back down, back test and start to back test the value area high, just get that acceptance back inside, I would look again. If we go below the 6-hourly, I would be looking for that nice juicy back test and maybe even coming back, tapping the value area low of the range and maybe even losing if we go back again this low. You have to keep in mind that the guy or woman, I don't know who, that accumulated a lot of spot Bitcoin on Bitfinex. If we go back this low, I think if we retest the point of control of the range or something else, he will probably unload his positions and the price could go lower. We do also have the new quarterly that was open just a few days ago. So keeping this in mind, usually price chops a little bit, a few days. So as you can see, it was resistance where we were looking for that short with the 8-hourly order block confluence. And so as you can see, we got that nice tap inside, back testing that quarterly, and you got also the more secure entry for the back test where then you got that FUD, just that liquidity grab. So yeah, these areas are just some main long setup I will be waiting for and a short setup. Just that my preferred idea would be something like this, coming back up and then probably losing the range. We could have in mind the 3 drives pattern idea, which is kind of a lot of time you get it. You get this 3 drives pattern on tops, on lows of ranges. Man, you kind of, I mean, it's ugly, but you kind of have some sort of wedge here currently forming. So if we do tap this upper part, come back up, maybe small bounce, just to backtest the value area high, and then you can see this drop. So this is something I will be looking at, and looks juicy just from every perspective. But what I will be trading, of course, will be what order flow gives me and what price action will be forming, of course. So as I said, if you go above, I would be looking for some higher targets. If you go below this, I would be looking for lower targets. So just I have a bias, but that bias won't make me money. So those levels that I will be trading and how I will be trading them, that is something that will bring me money and profits, and not my bias. So it's always good to have an idea with your trading. That's why that bias gets involved. But of course, in the end, if you do not see any reactions, if you do not see anything on order flow, yeah. One thing I would like to go over through is Doge. As you know, on the previous YouTube that I did video, I shared. I need to find it. I did share this setup for KuCoin, which was just that short coming back into that order block. So you can rewind it like a few weeks ago. This is no hindsight. This was actually talked about free, where I was talking about the short from the 1.6 fib channel, and the order block confluence, trend line, and so on. And from there on, whoever listened to that, yeah, got a nice 70% retrace, which is kind of nice. But for this video, I know everybody is hyped for Doge, and just something I would like to go over through is a nice daily order block that we have here. Nice daily trend line, which could get back tested. We do have some order blocks here and some other confluence for massive take profits, and maybe even a close of the position. What do we have? So high volume area, high volume node is almost as similar as the point of control of the whole low range. So what I could be, or what I could envision here, is going back, getting some retrace, maybe some sort of bounce from the point of control, in the end coming back down and just forming, maybe backtesting the trend line, maybe forming just a small range, a high volume range, where maybe that point of control could shift to the lower part, where this high volume node can then maybe be the point of control of the range. And this is something I would really look, because Doge is hyped these days, and usually when it's too hyped, it takes few days just to chop around, and just stop out, liquidate everyone that was FOMOing in on Elon's tweet. And then once everyone just forgets about Doge, that's when Doge usually makes that second pump, like we had here, like that initial pump, and then just wreck everyone, then just slowly chop around and make that last pump. So this is something I would like to see here. So we made that initial impulse, maybe just go down, slowly pump, tank, and then go back up. So this is a setup on Doge I would be looking at, in my opinion. Of course, price action still has to evolve, and we do need some order flow confluence, because Doge is on many exchanges where you can get many useful juicy hints on if we should enter or not.